What's up, everybody? I'm Bednar. I'm a technology specialist here at Toyota Brookfield. I'm going to make a series of videos here teaching you how to do all the basics on the new Toyota you just bought. If you have any questions after you watch the video, feel free to come on into the dealership. I'll be back here in the delivery area. I'll be more than happy to answer any of the questions you have. Thanks.
So today we're going to go over the pre-collision system that is built into your new Toyota. If your car has Toyota Safety Sense, it's going to have the pre-collision system. Now, there's not a whole lot I can show you with how to use the pre-collision system. I can tell you what it does and how it works, but there's only a couple things you can do to it. Like you can turn it on and off and change how sensitive it is, and that's about it. So the way the pre-collision system works is it uses the same camera it uses for the lane departure alerts, and it also uses the radar it uses for your radar cruise control. And what it's doing is it's constantly watching the people in front of you. Now, if you have the pre-collision system with TSS-C, it's only going to look out for cars. If you have pre-collision and you have TSS-P, it's going to look out for cars, and it's also going to look out for pedestrians. So what it's basically doing is using the camera and the sonar, it's watching the people that are walking in front of you, like if you're in like a downtown area, or if you're on the freeway and somebody slams on their brakes. What it's going to do is it's actually going to see that, and it's going to try to prevent the accident for you. So let's say you're on the freeway, you're not paying attention, whatever the case may be, and you end up having somebody in front of you slam on their brakes. The car is going to see that. If you don't respond right away, the car is going to warn you, and it's going to light up on your radio screen and on the screen in front of you. It's going to light up bright red. It's going to say brake, and it's going to beep super loud at you. And then it's going to give you, I think it's like a second to respond by pressing on the brakes. And if you do not do that, the car will slam on the brakes for you. And obviously what that does is your natural reaction is going to be to slam on the brakes yourself. So, but the pre-collision system, when it does kick in, is going to try to bring the car to a complete stop and then give you enough time to be able to put your foot on the brake yourself. Now, the reason I kind of mentioned the TSS-C with the collision system that only detects cars is it's literally only going to detect cars, and it's only going to detect the back end of cars. So if you're at like an intersection and somebody is like turning in front of you and it sees the side of the car, it's not necessarily going to go off. It's going to be up to you at that point to pretty much slam on the brakes yourself. It's mainly for if you're following behind somebody and they make a panic stop and you don't have enough time to react. And then, like I said, with the TSS-P, that detects pedestrians. If you're like in like downtown area and somebody walks into the street from behind a car, it's going to see that person and also do the same thing, try to stop the car before you hit them, obviously. Now, one thing I want to point out is a lot of people ask if it detects animals like deer, raccoons, stuff like that. I'm going to just tell you straight up, probably not. It's not programmed that way yet to be able to detect animals. I know they're working on it with some of the new systems, but the systems that are currently in the cars right now, it's not programmed to be able to detect animals or anything of that sort. So it's only for the back end of cars and people. Now, the only thing, like I said, that you can adjust on the pre-collision system is you can turn it on and off, and you can adjust how sensitive it is. So the way you do that is up on your little screen up here in between your gauges. If you go into your settings on the screen, which are the little settings wheel up here, this PCS stands for pre-collision system, okay? And if you select it, it only gives you an option to turn it on and off and to adjust the sensitivity. Now, right now we're in a Highlander. The sensitivity is all the way up, so that means it's going to be obviously a lot more sensitive to stuff that is going on. There is only a high, medium, and low setting. Change it to whatever you're most comfortable with. Let's say it's on high and you notice it's going off when you don't necessarily want it to go off. Turn the sensitivity down. It's pretty easy. Now, to turn it off, you just go to turn it off, and then it says pre-collision system turned off. Now, one thing I want to point out is after you turn it off, whenever you shut the car off and turn it back on, it's going to default to the on position right away. It doesn't let you leave it turned off. It's a safety thing that they want you to always have on, which, I mean, in my opinion, I don't see a reason why you would ever really need to turn it off. It's just a great thing to have on. So, like I said, it turns off, but then as soon as you turn the car off and back on, it turns itself back on. So you have to turn it off every single time if you want it turned off. Other than that, like I said, it works all on its own. There isn't really anything you can adjust besides the sensitivity, and it works really, really well. I've had it used a couple times. I went to a training up at Road America in Plymouth. I used it there. It's really, really cool how it works. It's a little nerve-wracking because you don't think it's going to necessarily see what's in front of you, but it does, and it really stops the car. So if you guys have any questions about how any of this works in the future, anything like that, you can always swing on the dealership and see either myself or any of the other people that do technology or salespeople. They all know how it works as well. So other than that, that's about all I got for you guys today. Thanks.